Hello! So, the pelvic tilt and the pelvic clock. Probably one of the first exercises you will do when you get onto a mat in Pilates. And what we're going to do here is start to move and mobilize the pelvis, which is a real key part of your body, right in the center. It interacts with your spine, with your legs, with all the joints. So mobility in the pelvis and being able to stabilize when we want to is a really perfect place to start. So come down onto your back, let your knees be bent, feet flat on the floor, and pop your hands onto your pelvis. So you want the flat part, the front part of your pelvis. Let your head feel really heavy into the ground, and notice your 2 feet, your pelvis, and your spine in connection with the floor. And then you've got the back of the head as well, and you could put maybe a little thin cushion under your head if it feels uncomfortable being down on the ground here. And then we're going to start to move the pelvis. So you're tilting the pelvis forward and back. If your pelvis was on a clock, we'd be moving it down to 6 o'clock and then back up to 12 o'clock. And so we're going to move it between those 2 points. And as you tilt the pelvis towards you, towards 12 o'clock, notice the lower back connects with the floor or maybe brushes against the floor. And then as you tilt the pelvis away from you, you might feel the lower back arch away from the ground. And we're going to keep moving through those 2 points a few times. And then if we come back into the center and we find what feels like the middle ground there. So we might call this our neutral pelvis, where if we were to rest a spirit level across your 2 hip bones, the spirit level would be level. And then if we went from 3 o'clock to 9 o'clock, so we're taking that pelvic tilt into a sideways action, maybe grounding, pressing 1 foot down into the ground a little bit more, letting the pelvis tilt over to the opposite side. So we've gone from 6 o'clock to 12 o'clock, and now we're going from 3 o'clock to 9 o'clock. And see how much you can allow the pelvis to move without the knees going with you. If we come back into the center now and then take ourselves around those 4 points. So tilt the pelvis away from you, feel the spine arch away from the floor, we're at 6 o'clock, over to one side, coming up to 9 o'clock. Then we're going towards you, 12 o'clock, over to the other side, 3 o'clock. And if we try and move through those 4 points nice and smoothly, taking your time, this movement can be really quite small to start off with. Let's try it in the other direction. And if Pilates or moving your body in this way is quite a new thing for you, then this might feel quite alien, but the more that we do it, the more that it will become second nature. And really, this is a real key starting point to allowing the rest of the body to start to align and move in a way that is most beneficial and effective for you and your body. And then if we find yourself right back in the center, so your spine is level, your pelvis is level, we've grounded through our 2 feet, you've got your knees in line with your hips, and your hips in line with your shoulders. And this would be a perfect position to start off going into another exercise like the pelvic curl or starting to work your deep abdominals a little bit more effectively.